Wait, is that you? I am so glad you're here. It's so good to see you today. Thank you. Thank you for coming. This is going to be episode 9 at the Kelly Renee Life Coach channel. I'm Kelly Renee, and like I said, I'm so glad you're here. My hope is to earn the privilege of your time. Along those lines, I'd be very grateful if you would like and subscribe and share your experience today. As we build a community based on inclusive, honest relationships, my hope is we can share our experience and grow the community. Who do you need to forgive? I just finished the book, The Scandal of Forgiveness, Grace Put to the Test by Philip Yancey. As a woman of faith and someone who's continually troubled by the divisiveness I see everywhere these days, I found the topic pretty timely. Someone recently asked me what kept me up at night. My response, the rancor and divisiveness that we see running rampant. It wears on me. Yancey's book provides a reminder that people's attitudes and actions can and do change. He uses several stories to demonstrate this point. The scandal of forgiveness will define forgiveness, discuss why it's so darn hard, and what makes forgiveness scandalous. Forgiveness doesn't happen quickly. And one thing I've come to realize is that my forgiving someone has more impact on me than it does on the person I'm forgiving. I need to be able to release that stored pain and tension from my life so I can get on with things. Let's face it, we've all been wronged by someone. As part of the LGBTQIA community, we see injustice and unfair treatment being perpetrated on a daily basis. It may not be directed personally at us, but it's there, and we don't have to look too far to find it. And here's where our choice lies. And this is where it gets hard. When I'm misgendered, or intentionally or not, when I'm excluded because someone's faith doesn't allow me to exist in their world, or when politicians try to pass legislation that feels like an attempt to dehumanize me, how do I respond? What thoughts come up, and how does it make me feel? How does it make you feel? See, the range of emotions is wide, and justifiably so. The key is, how do you respond? I noticed recently when I felt anger and frustration boil up inside me. I also noticed a profound feeling of pain, and then depression swept over and through me. And then I began to question my value as a human and ask, what does it even matter? That's natural. Our brains were designed to protect us, so when we feel slighted or threatened, it's natural to have all the emotion. And for the record, it's okay. What next? First, let me say, feeling the emotions is so important. We need space to feel. In many cases, it's not something we were taught or even allowed, depending on your family or origin. When we don't allow ourselves to feel our emotions, it's like trying to push a beach ball under the water and hold it there. You ever do that? Have you ever tried that in a pool or in a lake or even in the ocean? It's not designed for that. Emotions weren't designed to be pushed down and ignored either. Pushing our ball into the water creates an uncomfortable tension, and as more issues develop and as we push down more and push down more, eventually it's going to come out. We know that. We may not want to admit it, but it's coming, and when it does, what happens? That ball comes shooting to the surface and propels itself into the air. And that's when all hell breaks loose, and it feels like no matter how hard we try, we can't control the resulting chaos. And then we're faced with the aftermath, and many times the apologies to those we love, because we never intended the disruption and hurt that we caused. Sometimes the forgiveness and grace we need is for ourselves. Let's pause for a question. Do you believe people have inherent value? As a result of existing and being a human on this earth, do we all have inherent value and worth? I think academically, most of us can agree this is true. I was involved in a conversation recently about inherent value. We're all imperfect human beings. We're going to mess up. We're going to make mistakes. If we truly believe people have inherent value and worth, how can one mistake mean we're any less than? My experience begins with me. If I believe people have inherent value, that's great. But what about me? Do I have that same value? Or do I apply a different standard? Many times that's what happens. I apply a different standard based on the circumstances and the characters in my story. It's okay for you to make a mistake. It means you made a mistake, and that's okay. You get up, you wipe the sweat off your brow, you brush off your knees, and you keep going. You can do it. Go ahead. You can. You see, but when I make a mistake, I instantly become something less than. How do I learn to separate the two? Sometimes it feels like an impossible feat. Where's the nurturing and kindness when I have those conversations with myself? I'll tell you, they're pretty much non-existent. As my coach reminded me recently, that's where the hard work begins. When I say we need to give ourselves grace, that goes for me too. And if anyone's keeping score, I'll take a double portion, please. Thank you very much. So I'll ask again, who do you need to forgive? Is it someone you wronged? Someone who wronged you? And you're carrying around the bitterness and trauma of that wrong? Is it yourself? Are you living in regret over something that occurred in the past that you can't change? If you're ready to move forward, I can help. Let's talk about what's on your mind and put together a plan to get you moving again. Let's talk about how scandalous forgiveness only seems impossible and make it a reality in your life too. I see you. Go to my website, schedule a complimentary discovery call with me, and let's go. I'm thinking about y'all today. And remember, life's too short. Be kind. Do good. Until next time.